For you, this trajectory, how have we ended up here, and what are the dynamics you see? Hello, Dr. Abu
Yeah,
Sakara Foster.
yes. Thank you very much, and good morning to my co-panelists. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to interact with you all. I think the first thing is that we must say the blunt truth as it is. Business cannot carry on as usual. We've borrowed up to the point where we're at the end of a precipice. The world has changed. We just can't keep on borrowing. And we've got to the end. And the next government in 2025 is going to be faced with very serious challenges. This fact must be known to everybody. So we can't even pretend that just because we've got this 3 billion, things are going to be smoothed over and life is going to carry on as usual, because that is still working in the mentality that we can keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. We've borrowed from low to middle income status. Now we expect that we will borrow from middle income status to high income status. And where does that take us? Because at the end of the day, something has to give. And we cannot compare ourselves to places like America and what have you. They have a big industrial base. They have big geopolitical control where they can, use influences around the world to assist their economy. So all of Africa, you're 3.5% of the total global trade. You're just a speck on the wall. So you don't have those influences. You don't have that, size of economy to be able to go through those kinds of challenges that they have with their big, debt ceilings. So we have to come to some basic understanding of where we stand right now. And I think all the presenters, without exception, have painted the picture graphically and in detail. And there's no argument with anybody. We've got to cut our coat according to our size. The question is, where are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? And how are you going to do it? Those are the issues that we now must face. Because at the end of the day, we can't say that this happened by accident. It was a deliberate choice. We took that choice to borrow this amount of money and balloon the debt beyond what it should be, because we thought through that we were going to get some, sudden change in the entire economy. It was a miscalculation because, of course, nobody knew COVID was coming along. Nobody knew Ukraine war was coming along. But all the same, that's why one should be always cautious and you don't overdo things where you cannot retrieve your position. So at the end of the day, we are where we are now because we made a gross miscalculation in the amount we should have borrowed and how we borrowed it at that time. Now we're in the grip of our debtors. And let's not forget, the debt situation is not just about making money. It's really about controlling the way your country grows in order that it will favor those people who lend you that money and their investors. What has been the most significant effect of our borrowing since we started this journey of ours in Ghana? The most significant effect has been that it has stripped us of all our national industries because they've been privatized. And now we're on a, what I'll say, shopkeeper's economy, where we're just trading, selling, and buying things. We still have our, small revenue from extractive resources, etc. But it is way below what we need to meet our public sector payments. So if you don't have that, and those initial investments, those initial outlays you made in industry, etc., which would have generated money, we don't have that as well. And then we're having imposed on us very high taxation, very high cost of energy, very high transaction costs. It's like running on a treadmill, which can run faster than you. You will run and run and run. When you get tired, it will kick you off. That's the bottom line. So we shouldn't have any illusion that we'll be able to keep running on this debt treadmill and then we'll make ground and gain ground. No, that is not going to happen. That is not going to happen.
Right.
So at some stage, we have to stop, take stock, and say, look, let's cut our coat according to our size. Let's look at we're not saying we're not going to borrow money, but let's look at how we borrow money. Let us have a national development plan in segments. And within that segment, it tells you what you can borrow that money for and how much you should borrow that money for. We have steadfastly refused to have such a plan and believe in manifestos, which we make ad hoc according to what our electoral promises say. And then we want to rule government by that. Anybody who has made progress has always had a plan, and they don't rule their country according to manifestos. If they're manifestos, they're about how you execute that plan, which is predetermined, and how you cost it to make sure you're doing it cost effectively. It's not about plucking promises from the sky and vote-winning promises, which you know very well are going to land you into trouble at the end of the day. And nothing's changing. Begin looking at the campaign promises as we go into 2024. You'll see whether we have learned anything or not.